Hey y'all, it's Allie from Little Hill Homestead. So last night, I've been talking about using some dried apricots that we had in the cabinet for days, and I kept forgetting to actually ever do anything with them. So I thought, if I put those in front of my coffee pot in the morning, I'll have no choice but to remember to do this. So, we're gonna make apricot syrup, like pancake syrup, from dried apricots. I have these apricots, there's 30 of them. I think there's actually 29, but we're gonna pretend it's 30. 30 dried apricots. We've had these for a minute, and so I thought, I'm not using them in my charcuteries like I used to, or I'm not just grabbing them to eat. So we're gonna make syrup out of them. So I've got my kettle going. I'm gonna pour hot water over these to resaturate them and let it infuse in the hot water for 24 hours. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna attempt to make syrup using them. So tomorrow I'll look a little bit better, but this morning it was just like, I put this here so that I remember. So here we are, we're looking cute. Anyways, I'm hoping if this works, like think of all the things, dried fruits that you may have laying around that you're not using, that you could infuse and make syrup out of. Let's go. Anyways, I'm gonna put some hot water over these just until they're fully covered, and maybe like a cup more than that. And then through the day today, I'll watch it. If they end up puffing up too much, I'll add a little more water just to reconstitute them. So that's where we are for day one, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, there you go. Our apricots are now just chilling in some water until tomorrow. So I'm hoping they get puffy and delicious, and we're gonna use this water to make our syrup tomorrow. This is my way of getting things done, because if I don't do this today, it will never ever happen. These apricots will sit here for another year. So there you guys go. All right, we'll see you in the morning. Okay, it's the next day, and I will give you a little precursor. I have kitchen days, I call them, and basically it's where I like to stay like this. I am the type of person, I get up in the morning, I have my little cup of coffee or tea, and then that gives me the motivation to get stuff done first thing in the morning. So that's when I clean my house, that's when I do a lot of my videos. After lunch, I get in a food coma and the day starts, and so this is what you get to see. So our apricots just soaked overnight. There you go. They leached all the color, basically. They kind of look like little blobs, blah-diddy blob. So what I'm going to do is measure out my liquid, so I know how much liquid I'm starting with, because I didn't measure when I did it yesterday. Okay, we have 3 cups of liquid, and now that I know how much liquid I have, I'm going to add my apricots. I'm gonna give it a little pulse just to break the apricots apart, because when I boil it, I really want to pull all the flavor out of those apricots. So let me blend it, and then I'm gonna take you to the stove. Okay, I blended our apricots. They're kind of just in there, not too small where it's gonna be pureed, but just enough that we'll be able to get the flavor out of all of them. So I'm gonna pour this into a big pot and get it boiling. I'm probably gonna add 1 more cup of water just to be safe, and that'll also clean my blender out. So I'm going to get that going on high heat and get it boiling for probably about 20 minutes just to continue to break down those apricots, get all the flavor out. Once that's up, I'll show you how to strain it. So just once it comes to boil, put a timer on for 20 minutes. It's we're winging it, in case you couldn't tell. Just starting to come to a boil. I did put 1 pinch of salt in there. Salt has a great way of making things the flavor come out of stuff a little bit differently. So I do have that going in there. I'm thinking about adding maybe a teaspoon of almond extract. I just went and pulled the one we made out of the pantry, and it's not supposed to be ready until December 1st. So I'm debating if I really want to strain it and push it, or give it the extra 2 weeks it needs. I'll probably give it the extra 2 weeks it needs and just leave this as apricot. But I did want to say, you guys send me the funniest stuff. And Nina, thank you so much. You guys know we have a label maker that we use on all of our jars. Well, Nina sent me a case that it can go into. So our label maker is the Fimomi. Eventually I'll figure out what it's called. I'll link it below. It links to your smartphone. It's awesome. Well, and then it holds 3 extra rolls of the labels, which I will also link below, because some of you guys were asking which ones we use. I'll link them below. They're same brand. But how cute is this little thing? It came in all these different colors. I got the blue. I think I'm going to either paint something on it, or maybe I'll just use the label maker to label it. But Nina, thank you so much. This thing is so cool, because I have a really bad habit of just chucking that label maker in with my canning supplies. This will definitely keep it protected. So thank you so so much. Okay, this is now at a boil. So we're gonna set our timer for 20 minutes. And then we'll be back in 20 minutes. All right, guys, this has been going. I forgot to turn it down, so I had to add some more water because I walked away, because that's what I do. I'm gonna add the sugar while the apricots are still in there. I kind of thought about it, and I thought, yeah, they could use that extra infusion before I strain it. So I am gonna add 3 cups of sugar. Is probably how much water I ended up with, was 3 cups after it kind of boiled down. So I'm gonna add 3 cups of sugar. This is too full, to our mix. And the first one was skimpy, so I'm gonna add a little more. And I'm gonna stir that in. It will stir in really quickly because it's just sugar. But I'm gonna let that go for about 15 more minutes. I am gonna turn my temperature down so that I don't keep boiling the heck out of these poor little apricots. Literally almost all the water was gone, so I had to kind of start over. But it's fine, it's fine. It's just part of real life in the kitchen. So I got my sugar in there, I got my water in there, and I got my apricots. Get my strainer set up behind me, and then I will take you over there to show you kind of like the final thing. I was debating if I was going to can this one, but honestly, we will go through this pretty quickly. Sorry, I'm multitasking, so I have bread going too. We're going to go through this pretty quickly, so I'm just going to put it in a big jar and put it in the fridge. It will last in there for like 6 months, easy. So I'm just going to go that route instead of getting out my water bath canner, because I don't want to pull it all out for one little thing. You know, sometimes you just got to... Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Anyways, I'll be back in a few minutes to strain this off and show you what we ended up with. All right, we boiled this for like 15, 20 minutes. I kind of walked away and did, some other stuff. But actually, I'm prepping for another video I'm super excited about. I've been working on it for months, doing different samples and stuff. I think I finally nailed it. So that one will be an exciting one. So if you like finishing sugars, be on the lookout for that guy. It probably will come out before this one because I'm more excited about that one than this one. I get to pick. It's fun. Anyways, all I'm going to do is I have, it's a ricer or a strainer. I've gotten 50 different names for what this thing is called. We got it in an antique store. They still make them. And then I just have an 8-cup measuring cup stuck underneath. I'm just going to strain this straight through. And I'm not using cheesecloth this time because if a little bit of apricot clump gets in there, I'm okay with it. Plus, when I did the cheesecloth, it took a very, 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 very long time to strain out. So I'm not as worried about it this time. All that I'm going to do is let this strain out, and then I'm going to put it in. I have some 1.5 pint jars that I found when I used these for canning. The lids were buckling on them, so I use them more for like storage purposes now, so more so than I do for canning. That's fine. So we're going to end up, let's see, how much did we end up with? It's still straining a little bit. We'll end up with about 5 cups of apricot syrup from this. Let me take a little bit out and give it a try for you guys. You gotta know if it tastes like apricot, right? It will thicken up as it cools down, so don't worry that it still looks super like wet, because like I said, it will cool down. I'm gonna see if I can pull this off. So I am more of like, I like blueberry syrups and I like apple, cinnamon type syrups and stuff like that. My husband is more of like an apricot fan. That was his request, hence this one. I'm not really a stone fruit person per se, if that makes sense. I don't like them fresh. There's the fuzzy texture, and I'm not a fan. Okay, I might be a fan of this though. That turned out phenomenal. Like, no joke. That worked perfectly. Okay, so it's kind of tart. Like the apricots give it a nice tartness, but there's just enough sugar for it to be sweet. It's going to be perfect over like pancakes and waffles and stuff, which is what I made it for. So, bam, I'm so excited. I like to fiddle around in the kitchen and see if we can, let me get this over here. See if I can, come up with new ideas using the things that I already have that I need to use up. In this case, I had apricots that were literally like, I needed to get them out of my kitchen. We just don't eat them. And so how perfect did that work? Plus I'm thinking, I'm gonna have to dig through my hutch with my dried goods and see if there's anything else that I need to use up and I could use it the same way. Anyways, I'm gonna go just jar this up, pop it in the refrigerator. If you were to water bath can it, you would just do a water bath can. Once it comes to boil, you do it for 10 minutes for half pints. I usually add 5 more minutes for a full pint. I know you should double it. Would make more sense since it's double the liquid. It doesn't quite work like that. So if you're going to can it, half pints, which are the little tiny jelly jar looking ones, 10 minutes. If you do a pint, I would do 15. If you're going to do a quart, I would do 20. That's kind of my, there you go. I'm not going to show you how to can it because I'm not canning today because I just don't want to today. Dang it. I even have an electric canner and I just don't want to. Anyways, that's it for today, you guys. Thanks for coming along on one of our crazy kitchen days. Our bread has another 2 hours before I can mess with that, and I'm going to go work on some other videos for you guys. I love these kitchen days because it's like I got up early. I already have ice cream done. My bread will be done pretty soon. After that, I'm going to start some pizza dough for dinner tonight. I'm going to make a video over here. When that's done, I have to make an apple pie. That's for dessert tonight, but I'm also going to make a video for you guys. I have a list. Make lists because I love to cross things out and feel like I'm accomplishing something. Anyways, apricot syrup. There you guys go. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.